Hi, today's video is going to be looking at the different angle measures in triangles. So the first theorem we're going to look at is the Triangle Sum Theorem. And the Triangle Sum Theorem says that all three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. So tri means three, a triangle has three sides, and if it has three sides, it has three angles. All three of the angles must add up to 180. So when we look at this first example here, we call it the bow tie problem. We actually have two triangles. We've got a triangle here on the left in red, and we've got a triangle here in the right in purple. These are two separate triangles, each having their own sum of 180. So when I look at the first triangle here, this angle is 22, this angle is 66. So when I go to find my third angle, I do 180 minus 66 minus 22, and that's how I find that this angle right here is going to be 92. From there, we need to move into the purple triangle. To move to the purple triangle, we are using the idea that vertical angles are congruent. So we learned about vertical angles in Unit 1. If this is 92, this is going to be 92. Then once I look closer at my purple triangle, I notice that this angle is x, and this angle right here is also x. Both of these angles are both x, therefore they are congruent angles. I know that all three angles in that triangle have to add up to 180. So I do 180 minus the one angle that I do know, which is 92. From there, I am left with 88 degrees. I'm going to split that evenly between my two remaining angles because they're congruent. So half of 88 is going to leave me with 44. So each of these angles is going to be 44 degrees, making the measure of angle x going to be equal to 44. So that's one way to use the triangle sum theorem. Let's look at the next problem. Find x in all the angles and then classify by its angle. So I want to figure out what kind of triangle is it based on its angle measures. If we go back to our theorem that all three angles in the triangle have to add up to 180, here are my three angles. I know that when I add those three angles, they need to add up and equal 180 degrees. So I can't just add two of them. I've got to add all three because the triangle sum theorem says that all three angles have to add up to 180. So I've got all of this on the left-hand side. Remember, when we go to solve this equation, I'm going to clean up the left-hand side first by combining like terms. So 9 plus 3 is 12, plus 10 is going to be 22x. When they're on the same side of the equal sign, we're just combining like terms. Negative 5 and a positive 29 is going to give us 24. 24 plus 2 is going to give us 26. It's not until I cross the equal sign do I do that opposite operation, leaving us with 22x is equal to 154. We divide by 22, and we get that x is going to be equal to 7. So what I want you to do now is I want you to push pause, plug 7 in, and find all three of your angle measures. Okay, go ahead and check your work and see how you did. We found that x was 7 together. When I plugged it in, since x was 7, I substituted 7 into each of the expressions in each corner for each angle. I found one angle was 58, one was 72, and the other one was 50. So when I look at all those three angles, if I want to classify by its angles, this is going to be an acute triangle because I have three acute angles. Remember that an acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. So all three of my angles are less than 90, making it an acute triangle. So the triangle sum theorem is that all three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. Sometimes we have equations, and sometimes, like number 1, we're just subtracting from 180. Our next theorem is the exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle theorem says the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measure of the two remote interior angles. All right, that theorem is a little wordy. When we think about our exterior angle theorem, we have a triangle. Our triangle has three angles inside the triangle. These two are the remote interior angles. And then outside of the triangle, right next to it, this is going to be our exterior angle. What our theorem is saying when it says the measure of the two remote interior, this sum, so the sum is adding, so the measure of that angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 is going to be equal to the exterior angle, which is the measure of angle 4. So that's our exterior angle theorem. Here are the remote interior angles. I'm going to add them and set them equal to my exterior angle. So we have 3x minus 5 plus 7x plus 13 is equal to 4x plus 62. So when I go to solve this, I want to clean up the left-hand side because I see that I have like terms I can combine. 3x and 7x makes that 10x. Negative 5 and 13 is going to be a positive 8. Nothing to clean up on the right-hand side. When I go to solve this equation, I see that I have x's on both sides. So I move the smaller x over. 10 minus 4 is going to give us 6x. I want to isolate the x, so now I'm going to move the 8 over. I'm doing that opposite operation because I'm solving. I'm crossing the equal sign. That leaves us with 54. We divide by 6, and we find that x is going to be equal to 9. So the remote interior angle, we add, the exterior angle theorem says that we add the remote interior angles and set it equal to that exterior angle. All right, our last one for this video, I can apply that exterior angle theorem in this kind of problem as well. This one actually has two ways we can solve. First, I see a linear pair. When we have a linear pair, a straight line, they have to add up to 180. So if this is 100, that's 80. Again, we do 180 minus 100. This angle is 80. I see right here I have another linear pair. So again, 180 minus 140 is going to leave me with 40 degrees. If I look for this angle right here, I can think about the Triangle Sum Theorem that says all three angles in a triangle have to add up to 180. So I do 180 minus the 80 we found, minus the 40 we found, and then this angle is going to be 60 degrees. And then I can do the linear pair again to find x, which is 180 minus 60, leaving me with 120 degrees. Now, the exterior angle theorem can be used as a shortcut here because the remote interior angles, when added, is going to be equal to the exterior angle. So I could have went and said x was equal to 80 plus 40 and found 120 the exact same way. So you go ahead and approach it the one that makes the most sense to you. Which one are you going to remember? All right, that is it for this video.